ask you a little bit about red cards, because since you've arrived, you've picked up 3, and they're all kind of a similar nature. So have you had to have a word with the squad just about kind of staying on their feet or anything like that? Or
not really. I think I've had to play people who aren't fit, who haven't been used to playing too early. Grant, now Rozier again. Who was the other one? Danny. Oh, he was out of position when he's more of a forward, isn't he? So that was a Paul Scholes tackle. Scholes used to get away with it, but he didn't actually, did he? But no, I just think that is through the ferocity of getting back in there, getting back out there, and the speed of the game that you might not have been up to speed with. So it is what it is, and it's not. If people are arguing and getting booked for that, that's a mistimed tackle. So, and that happens when you're tired, or when you're not been in it and you're not up to game speed. So it's a risk having to play them. I didn't really want to. I've had to because I needed to try and assess everybody, and also we need to start trying to win and to try and get that balance of who's hungry enough, who's ready, who can do that. And we'll have to just wait and see. I have moaned at them. I don't want them to do it, but it's not. When I was at Bristol Rovers, I got booked 17 times. I had to look at myself, and I was arguing with referees, so that was slightly different. And then other people were following my lead, but you know, it's really weird how people see the game. It is these days, and these things happen. It's a challenge. Is it reckless? Was it reckless? It was a tad late. I'm not sure it was reckless. So, but we can't appeal that, can we? Because that's not an obvious mistake, is it? But I would have just given him a yellow card personally.
How are you looking injury-wise? You're having some concerns with a few of your defenders when we spoke on Tuesday.
Yes, Grant's out. Ollie's suspended anyway. Hopefully his calves will have settled down, because I've had to throw him back in after being out 3 weeks. It's not ideal, but oh God, yeah. So how delighted am I that whoever played the other day did so well in a different shape. And it's amazing, isn't it? You know, this is what I'm trying to say to people out there. It's not about a 5 at the back, and you know, we're really good at blaming people, aren't we? I've found that already. You know, social media. Oh, Barden did well, didn't he? We got to get everybody up to speed. So, you know, it's whoever I've got, I need to fit them into a way of doing it against whoever we're playing against. So the other night had 4 at the back. I felt who we had fit. Let's do it that way. And I'm delighted with it. You know, I'm absolutely delighted that Tomisi in particular, who played so well at a centre-half position and used his pace, used his skill, used his passing, that he does normally in one higher up. And then McGregor, that allowed McGregor to go and do, it was a wonderful thing to see against a higher level than we're playing. So, wow, that means we should be able to do it here. But the physicality of our league, it's allowed to be a lot more than the other evening. There weren't already any fouls from their forwards. They just got on with playing, didn't they? Well, in our league, everybody's throwing you around like a wet lettuce. You know? WWF, that's what it looks like. And I'm going to complain about it. I think it's wrong. But, you know, so if I'm missing any defenders, those lads actually went, wham, what about me? And that's what I need. I thought Delaney was magnificent leading as a captain there. Do you know what I mean? And I've also rested the other ones. So I've got a dilemma on my hands. You know, I really have, because both teams done well, but it's about this next game. And it'll always be part of who's available, part of what do I need, and part of who deserves it. And if I end up with so many deserving it, like I feel I have after the last 2 games, that's how I should feel, isn't it? Not as miserable as I was last Wednesday, or terrible as I was last Thursday morning, saying things have got to change. Well, what a difference a week makes. But it's all about where we're going from here on in. So, yes, I've got some people who are out. I knew that was going to be the case. That's why I rested some, to make sure that we're fresh, we're hungry, we're ready to go. And now I truly have a dilemma. What shape am I going to play? Who am I going to put in there? Who deserves to play? Does Billy need to stay in, or do I put Coxey back in? Because Coxey did nothing wrong last week. And wow, what a wonderful position I'm in this week compared to last week.
You're sort of talking about Harrison on Tuesday. Do you know if he's going to be okay?
I haven't actually asked yet, so he's having a scan. Potentially a Gilmore's groin operation is needed. You need surgery to sew it up. I had a double once after Roy Keane ran me into the ground, and I thought I can't keep. Maybe I could have kept up with him a bit better, but I had a double hernia operation. It seems like he might have that. I haven't spoke to the physios yet, but I was very suspicious that that's what it was when he described how he felt. And it brought it back to me. It was awful. Felt you've got a big pole straight through you. And if that's the case, he'll need an operation. And when he walked off, I knew it. Just knew it. Here we go. But there you go. We'll see. I'll let you know in a minute, really, because it's so early this morning. I haven't had a chance to. But never mind. I'm sure he'll be back fighting fit soon.
As for facing Bradford, I don't think anyone's had more shots in the league than Andy Cook. So
Yeah.
How much do they play around him? How much to sort of try to stop him? An important part of having success there.
Well, whoever they're, I mean, people will worry about Smith for us, won't they? This is the whole point. What you want is your best players to worry the opposition, and then they try and do something about it. What I need is us to get what we do going, and then I believe that'll take care of whoever we've got. But we might have to think very carefully who's playing at that, what are his strengths, and who matches him the best. Is he really quick? Is he this? Is he that? Or is it the service to him that I've got to stop? Because that's an important part of it as well. But, you know, as I say, I know what my team probably is. I need to just bounce it off the physios and the fitness guys to make sure that I'm giving us a physical head start. Are they ready? Are we ready to go? And also gather up that wonderful energy that we had the other evening and say to those who did that, who felt it, wow, we need that again. So if you're not playing, make sure you bring the same energy, and when you do get that chance, get on there and do what you did the other night. And what pleased me the most was holding out. We managed to hold out. I didn't like the goal. We could have cleared it. That should have gone. We tried to get it down and tried to do something else. They nipped it off us and scored. If it was 2-0, I'd have been absolutely delighted. But we let another goal in, and then it's all that worry again. But I felt we handled that a little bit better as well. But that last shot, it spilled off of our goal in. Could have gone to them, but luckily it didn't. So hopefully, you know, all of that will come into play. This is a totally different game. It's on a totally different day. And what I don't want to do is go back to how I felt last week. So it's their job to make me feel like I feel right now on Sunday morning and Monday with another win in the bag. And is there any reason why we can't actually do it? Yeah, there is. Bradford City are in the way. And we're at their ground. And they scored lots of goals. And they won the other night as well. So what a fantastic challenge. And this is the thing. But they will look at the fact that we beat a very, very strong, okay, depleted, but very, very strong, top of League One team. And that must mean something. And I want us to carry that strength on into our league form.
Lastly, what do you kind of sense in the sort of attitude and the energy of the players, you know, from last week to this week? What do you think the 2 wins have done for them?
That's not for me to say. I need the people who watch us to see if there's any difference. I've noticed it because I've watched the games back. But the thing is, you have to just keep doing that. It's no good doing it once. It's no good doing it twice. You need to have a consistency about you, and you need to understand why. Why did it go so well? And I've got some more evidence. The first goal, for example. Where would we have played that 2 weeks ago? Where would we have played that pass from Tamisi? Where would he have looked to play that? A week ago. Not for me, he's not. Where did I ask him to play it? And was it a good pass? Was it an ugly hoof, or was it a good pass? I thought it was a brilliant pass. Who did that bring into the game? one of our strikers. Who did he bring into the game after that? Rozier, who's told me he could run with it and dribble and beat people, and he did. And then all of a sudden our left back's in the box because he read it, and he scored. Where was our midfielders? They should have been in there as well, but he's galloped however far and got on the end of it. He's not a wing back, he's a left back. So our right winger crosses it and our left back scores. Now that's more like an Ian Holloway team. So I need to be able to show them that. I need to say, here we go, come on, what is all this about? And we need to, the characteristics we showed the other evening are more important than anything else. We need to take those characteristics up for it, front foot, go and press. Where are we looking? Off our forwards. Who's under pressure? Their back line, not ours. That's what we need to carry in, week out, day in, day out, to everything we do. So that's why I'm not celebrating, because this is what I expect. You wouldn't celebrate if you expect something, would you? I wouldn't. If I've seen it for months and months and months, and then I can look at what it's got us, then I might celebrate. But until that happens, I won't be any different than I am right now. I'm looking at the positives. I'm telling everybody you can do this. I'm believing that we can do this. And they need to start believing like I did. And only will they if they can turn things around. And that's not going to be easy. In a million years is it going to be not easy. Because when you listen to the commentary like my wife did, I watched it when I got home, Sky Sports, they hadn't been beaten for 15 games. They've scored zillion amounts of goals. We've let in 47. He couldn't wait to say it, the bloke. And we're third bottom of the second division, and this is a real shock, and oh, blah, 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 blah. But it's not a shock to me, because I believe we can do this. I believe we're much better than we are. But I get it. I understand it. But I haven't got it. That's not me. I'm not seeing what you've all seen for however many months or years or whatever it is. So I'm trying to bring some freshness, and I hope it, and I don't know yet. Because if we go back and we don't play well Saturday and we get beat again, and it could all start again. So I'm not even bothering about it. I'm just trying to work towards the lads having a feeling that I want them to have, is that they can achieve things, they can do things if they do things better. And then I won't need to change them like I felt I needed to last week. Maybe I can change one or two of them to actually be the people that they believe they should be, instead of moaning about it and blaming everything else, instead of taking responsibility themselves. That's who I'm looking for. That's what I want. And boy, oh boy, some of the new lads who I've given an opportunity to, have they not slammed a flag in the ground saying, I can do that, Gaffer. I want to do that, Gaffer. And that's how you change things, on energy. And to be honest, Billy, coming from a team that's top of the league, he looked like he was a winner. He hadn't had those thoughts that we had, you know? When I put Roz up there, Roz didn't have that in his head. I kept on about, you're going to run with it, aren't you? What's your skill? Go and run with it. Show me. Show me you can run with it. But you've got to get the ball first. You know? And Cab gave it him, and oh my God, what Cab didn't realise, he needed to spin and get out of the way. He might have scored that goal. He was still watching him. Luckily, Billy got on the end of it because the rest didn't do any movement. They're not used to crosses coming in, are they? They're not used to someone dribbling with it and beating someone. Well, come on. That's what I'm expecting you to do. And then he goes and gets sent off after a fantastic first half performance he was giving me. Do you know what I mean? Well, this is life, isn't it? Honestly. The great thing about Christmas, you open a present, hopefully you don't know what's in there. And have you been good this year? Or have you been bad? Are you on the good list? Are you on the naughty list? And if anyone who's listening, he's listening all the time. So you make sure you're on the good list. And Luna Holloway, you better be listening, because he's listening all the time. That's my granddaughter, who she knows she can be a little bit naughty at times.
Good luck.
Thank you very much. I know I've gone off piece there, but it does make sense. It was tied in somehow. It was tied in somehow.
Just about. The starkest thing about the last two games was how much the active defensive numbers jumped from the games before. So what do you feel like changed after Colchester to allow them to...
Say that again, the active defensive
in terms
numbers.
of like defensive actions, tackles, recoveries, things like that. So, you know,
Right,
really getting to the
okay.
teams, essentially.
What, is that from the midfield as well?
From the whole team.
From the whole
It
team?
was, I think, like top numbers for the whole season in terms of the last 2 games. And before that, you weren't quite doing it in the same way. So what do you think changed to help them, that light bulb to come on and suddenly they played, as you say, like an Ian Holloway team?
What do I think? I know exactly what I think. Do I really want to tell anyone? Not really. That's years and years and years of experience that I've looked at teams and looked at what they're doing. And I said I was going to stare at everything that they do, and I might need to change 1 or 2 things. The 1 or 2 things, it's taken me 20 years to learn about what that is, and I'm not going to tell anyone. The facts are, people with experience know this, and I know what I'm going to try and do about it, and I'm not going to share that with you because other people listen to what I'm saying. Charlie Adam listened to my talk, so he knew I was going to play some different people. Luckily, he didn't work out what I was going to do because he should know it. I had to tell him years ago because when we weren't playing very well, we did certain things. We had certain characteristics where we put the wrong value on the wrong thing. And in football today, without a shadow of a doubt, in all the leagues that I see, people are putting the wrong values on the wrong things at the wrong times and playing themselves totally and utterly into terrible turmoil over and over again. It's ridiculous. As an experienced coach, it's ridiculous. You're paid to win games, so I've got to try and help them win games. And sometimes you don't have to win them nicely, you just have to win them. And what you do is make it easier for the opposition to fail than yourselves. And that's my advice to anybody. And you got to do it carefully because it's not how you win these days. It's not just winning, is it? It's how you win. Oh, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? It's rubbish. The game is like fashion. It goes in and out. I'm hoping that I've kept my clothes long enough that I'll be back in fashion soon. I don't really care at my age, but you know what I'm saying. And Pep's changed everybody's opinion on what you got to do. And in the end, people will look at him, they will watch what he does, and they'll learn how to stop it. People stopped Arsene Wenger in the end, and he was a genius, you know. So Pep's got to deal with that. He'll have to change what he does. But at times, football matches, it don't change that much. The ball needs to not go in your net, needs to go in their net. So why keep it so close to your net all the time? Does that make sense? I felt we were doing that. So I'm asking them to think about different things. So, but all of those things they'll share, they'll understand. And if I get it right, we'll stop making so many mistakes. We'll start making them make mistakes, and then the lads will get, oh, hang on a minute. And then if we get confident, we can then still do the other things we've learned, but we've actually hurt their back line. And if you look at the last 2 games, we have hurt their back line. Still not as many times as I want to, but we were hurting our own back line. Particularly at Colchester, when we were 4-0 down, and we got 59% possession, and we're fanning around with it at our end, almost causing Jack trouble because they're pressing us. And it's so obvious, what are we doing? And what is the point of that? We're 4-0 down. Where's their goal? Does that make sense to you? It didn't to me. But it took that long, 3 or 4 weeks, to actually see that. Because in some games we did all right. Do you know what I mean? So I won't bin all of it, but hang on a minute, common sense-wise, what are we doing? What do you think? And then asking them, what do you think? Is that good? Should you turn around and go back there when actually you could put them under pressure? So it's about them understanding that as a group and start communicating that to each other instead of letting him play that back there without, turn them, get it behind them, put it in there, play forward. We don't want that there. And that's how they have got to learn. Do you know what I mean? The other night, there was hardly any crowd. You could hear me a mile off. Their fans were telling me to shut up. I need our team to do that. If that's in a big crowd, if that's at our ground, they can't hear me. They should be doing it themselves. And that's what I got to put onto them. Still haven't got it, not without Ollie, not without Grant. Still haven't got that in the team. Still not happening. But we're getting there. I thought Ryan did it brilliantly. I could actually hear him, Ryan Delaney, the other day. Absolutely, totally well done, son. But they need to do it, not me. So I know I've gone on. But the facts, I'm trying to build a team. Good players don't make a team. Team players make a team, and have we got enough of them? Some of these young ones coming in, they will understand, right? They haven't had the pressure, right? They can come in pure as ice, pure as snow, sorry, and go wham, just like Billy did. He didn't question what he did, he just did it. Beautiful. What about Joel? Fantastic. But that whole back line was excellent. That's where we need to start. How many games could I actually say that? That whole back line were excellent. The fans have noticed, moaning at Miguel, moaning at Jack. Stop moaning. Stop blaming people. It's us. Just stop it. You're so used to it, I'm not having it. It's all of us. That whole back line. Will ran over and pushed our bloke and he headed it in his own net. What are you doing, Will? It's not just Miguel. It's not Jack. Oh, look who it is, you little warriors on there talking rubbish. I nearly swore then. I feel so passionately about this. We have to stop blaming people and we have to take responsibility to build a group and build a team and make them feel right about things. We have to. Swindon supporters, you have to. You have to help. That's your job. You got a choice. Do I buy a ticket or do I not buy a ticket? There's thousands of them not bothering because we've been that crap for so many years. I get that. But I need your help. The team needs your help. We're going to have some young ones in there. Why don't you come along? Come and see. Come and help us. Why don't you come back? Please do it. And then you'll see. And then they'll see how you care. And that's what I'm trying to do. The last two games, I want to thank those people. If they went to Colchester and they came up again at Wickham, well done. Thank you so much, because we didn't deserve your support after that game. But I believe the lads have in the last two games. Don't think we deserved it, how we buckled against Morecambe. You didn't deserve that. We did that. We got it wrong. So come on, let's step up to the plate. If there's ever going to be a mistake, that was the one. And that was it for me. I'm not putting up with it. So come on, step forward, whoever you are, wherever you're from, it doesn't bother me. I don't care whether you've got any experience or not. If you've got the right character, the right personality, you're going to play in my team and we're going to start things moving. But stop blaming people. I can't stand it. You want to blame anybody, blame me. I picked the wrong team. I picked a team that was absolutely flat out. I wanted to try and give them well played. You did well, lads. They had no legs left. And they felt sorry for themselves, which is inexcusable. And now I'm looking at minutes, who's played, who's not. I'm resting him. Here you go. Give me your energy. Here we go. And I brought people in who haven't had the pressure on them. Because the pressure is vile. It's vile being where we are. It's absolutely horrible. To walk down the shop, people I know, in my local garage, they've been fantastic. Don't worry, you'll be all right. It's brilliant because they know me and how I've helped them over the years. How are you? How's it going? Oh, let me help you with that. That's what I do. But I'm telling you, we to get out of where we are, we need every fan to help us as much as we can. And I'll try and get them to do what they're doing in a minute. And I will not take anything other than what makes sense. And what makes sense is trying to hurt their defence and hurt their goalkeeper almost every time you have it. Why are you mucking and messing about when their backline are just strolling around with a cigar on, just jogging about, and they're not even being tested? Look at that ball up the line, the second goal. McGregor won it. It's not even his side of the pitch. He won it, he read it, he played it, he knew where it was going. What have we said? He knew where it was going, so he ran in behind, put their bloke under pressure. He folded like a pack of cards, like a jigsaw, and he squared it, we scored. We only had 10 men. You wouldn't have thought it, would you? But if we'd have played it backwards, and they'd have squeezed us up, we wouldn't have seen any of that, would we? Oh, isn't it lovely? Beautiful football. Nonsense football. It's not tippy-tappy, because Man City don't play tippy-tappy. They're getting beat everywhere at the minute, so he's got enough problems. But that bloke's been a genius. But football is in your soul and what you're trying to do. Pass the spots off the ball or put it in their net. Don't make sense. 59% possession, not one shot at goal. There you go. That's how mad we are. Never again. Sorry, that was a good question.
Thank you. The question, you brought it up a little bit there. Miguel Freckleton, obviously, he's been out injured at the moment. Where's he?
Still injured. And I've got a decision to make. Is he staying? Is he going back? I think our fans have helped murder him, to be honest. Honestly, I think they have. We can't wait to blame people. And I thought it was him just losing energy. Wasn't. His old back line. His old back line. And I thought Bardham played against Salford, didn't he? Yeah. He didn't play that well that night, did he? His kicking wasn't very good, was it? Remember? So was it his fault that night or what? I just don't understand people. It's absolute nonsense. I don't live like that. I try and help people. So Miguel, I feel for him. But I got to look at who I've got, who I might have, who's 6'2", who's got a left foot. Billy's got Annie. Played in the game, scored a goal. So I'd be an idiot if I kept Miguel and didn't bring Bill back and keep him, wouldn't I? You know. So I think Miguel will probably know that. I feel for him because I didn't like the way our fans reacted. I didn't like the way he reacted in one game. He should have had the ball, should have kept going. But it wasn't his fault. It wasn't his fault. It's our fault. Swindon's fault. It's our fault. It's my group's fault. They should have helped him. Might need a telling off, but they should have helped him, and I don't think we did. And I take full responsibility for that. I wasn't even here, but that's how I am. Take full responsibility for that. So, and people under my care, I have a duty of care to look after their well-being. And that's what football's about these days, well-being. I was strong enough to be bullied. I got bullied every minute of every day while I was growing up as a footballer. But luckily they were good people. They bullied me for the right reasons. They made sure that I did things in the right way that was going to make me a proper professional. So thank you for bullying me. But I had to be strong enough to deal with it. Held against the wall like that by a fullback. Where's my Vic? Here it is, Doug. Yeah. He ate Vic. Doug Hillard. I should never forget it. I said, God damn it, Doug, what are you doing? He went, you wait till that winger smells that on my breath, son. You'll be terrified. Wow. Those people made me. They did. And these days you can't. I probably wouldn't want to. I don't want to hold someone up against the wall, but verbally I might actually challenge them in a way that will not really comfortable because you've said what I'm worried about. So I've got to find different ways as well. But listen, football is you have to try and fix people to be people together. And you have to pit them together and see what they can achieve together. On their own, they can't do anything. Don't care how good you are. Messi on his own, he'd be rubbish. He would. He'd still look good, but he couldn't win on his own. Could he? Probably not. No, he'd let goals in, wouldn't he? But he'd probably still score, wouldn't he? Not being funny. You know what I mean. But anyway, I'm digressing again. Ask me another question or we're finished. Sorry.
I'll pass it over to Sam.
A couple of times this season, the team has shown shoots of recovery where they've won a couple of games in a week and it's gone away again.
Have they? When was that then?
So they did it in with the game against what was it? Rovers and
Cheltenham.
Did they really? Because Cheltenham, they were 3-0 up, and they almost threw it away. So my point is, they smashed Bristol Rovers with a different team, right? Some of the ones who ain't played, we just beat a League One, top of League One, with the ones who ain't played. So I'm going to have to look and say, hang on a minute, shouldn't I be playing some of these? So, you know, the facts are we've always had a negative, and the negative in the Cheltenham game was that we almost threw it away. And I think we saw that last Saturday. I saw shoots of that last Saturday. That was going to happen again because we almost did Cheltenham. We almost did that one last Saturday where we missed a penalty. And then, oh, God, they've scored. And in the last 10 minutes, we were like, I don't know what we were doing. Everybody's in the back line instead of being where they should be. Just trust the back line. So we've had this all along. And so this is nothing. This is what I'm saying. We need to just keep our heads down and try and get another result.
Yeah, I guess my question is, is there a particular way that you can manage those situations or that you've been trying to manage them better, sort of game management-wise? Can you teach that? Or is that something that's innate to the individual person?
No, you teach that. You teach the group to care about each other. And that's what I've been trying to do ever since I've come here. And you need to connect them emotionally. And you need to give them responsibility. And I want my coaches to say less, do less, and pass it over. And it's very, very difficult. But the second we know what the team is, we did this in the last game because I believe this is what we need to do. I identified who might be coming on for that particular person in the dressing room before the game. You might be coming on. So that's his job from set pieces. You might be coming on in his place. So that's his job. You better know that now. So we don't need to give you that if I put you on for him. That's different than what we've been doing. But it'll make a huge thing where I want my staff sat down behind me. And if I want to choose to get up, all I'll be doing is encouraging. The rest of it, we don't. So when they look over there, they're in the battle for me. They look over on my beautiful white horse sat there thinking, yep, we're in control there. I'm not flapping around because that can't be good if you look over and your people are flapping. And if you're getting that information, I'm not having that. I don't want that feeling ever again. We didn't quite show that the other night. Almost, but not quite. There were still times where we should press. We dropped off. You got to press. But we'll get there. Have I really got a totally pressing team? No, I haven't. No. Have I really got a battle and fight team? No. We're a, let's play football. Let's pass it, which is a bit of a problem in League Two. So what I've got to try and do is help them and encourage them to make sure that, hang on a minute, this is how you do it. And if that ain't your skill, if you play it there a little bit more and you squeeze up a little bit more, you won't be so wide open when you lose it. And then you'll be ready and then you will be able to press. You can run there. But you can get there and not have to lunge for a foul. Right? So it's about tying it all together. And this is what I've said all along. I believe there's an awful lot more ability in this squad than anybody who should be at the bottom of the second division. And what I'm trying to do is to help them keep faith, keep going, show them that they can do it together, providing they're getting together more. And it's very, very difficult when it's so easy to blame someone else. And I believe our whole club has it. And I will stand here and I will say it. I don't like it. I don't want it. I don't want to catch it. You want to blame anybody? Blame me. Not a problem, but don't blame my players who are the ones who are trying to go out there and do it. And don't blame me for not picking someone who you think should play. Because you don't know. You ain't seeing him every day. You don't know how he's feeling. You don't know what's happening at home to him. You don't know the pressure he's under. You have no idea. So you ought to trust me somewhere along the line and see if I can actually help you. But when you turn up, try and encourage them. Would help. Only if you see them trying like they're trying it in a minute. Because I'm not having last Tuesday. I'm not having it. It's not giving me second thoughts. It's not. They're starting to be the people I think they should be. And there's a big difference. I could see potential, and I've always held potential in my lifetime. I've never been a favourite, not ever. That's the first time I've ever gone to Wycombe as an underdog, right? But that's not knocking Wycombe. I've had QPR, but QPR weren't favourites. We weren't. Our fans knew we weren't favourites. We were just a decent club, you know? But most of my clubs have been underdogs. So what I'm trying to say is I am used to not having an expectation, and I'm going to not put up with that, because it doesn't matter where you are. It's about what you do and how you care. And I'm not sure this lot cared enough about each other. I think they've got a chance to show me how much they want to play for this football club and how much they want to win for this football club. And that's all that matters at the end of the day. And I'm telling you now, Bristol Rovers taught me that all those years ago. Their scout, and I should never forget it, Bristol City told me I was brilliant, I was going to be this, going to be that. Their scout, when my scout tells me, their director of youth, Mr. Gordon Bennett, said, my scout tells me you're average, Ian. How much do you want this? And that's what life's all about for me. Seriously, that's what life's all about. And people get, oh, he's got talent, he's got this. Oh, Elon Musk, he's brilliant. But what a drive has he got? You have to have some sort of drive inside you, and that's all I'm looking for. It's people like that, really. So onwards and upwards, and you haven't got to be rich, you ain't got to be famous, you just got to want it more than someone else, and that's all I'm looking for. And every one of them, if they're listening to this, that's all I'm asking. And do you know what? Every one of them has shown me how much they want it this week, so I'm going to be disappointed in one or two of them. But it's still their job to show me that the character that they need to be more than happy that they're going to come off the bench and change this game. And to be more, because you're allowed to use 5 subs now. When football first started, there was no subs. And then there was 1. And now you've got at least 5. So 5 out of 7. So come on. If that's not a team game, I don't know what is. But you have to have a squad. And I'm not happy with where our squad is in the table. So we've got to do something about it. They've got every opportunity to keep showing me.